shall you respond?
Order. I call the honourable member for Hindmarsh.
Thanks, Mr Deputy Speaker. Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Well, look, the hypocrisy of members opposite on this MPI today is absolutely breathtaking, Mr Deputy Speaker. I mean, this is the crowd over there under which, in 6 years, 1 in 10 manufacturing jobs in Australia was lost. 1 in 10 across the entire country. These are the people. These are the people who increased on whose watch the unemployment rolls increased by 200,000 people. 200,000 people more unemployed. 1 in 10 manufacturing jobs lost, and all in the space of a very, very unpleasant 6 years, Mr Deputy Speaker. So that is the record that we are confronted with, and to see their confected outrage and purported affinity for workers, given that record, is really quite outrageous. Now, Mr Deputy Speaker, the government has a very clear plan for jobs, and there are many elements to it. One of them is to get rid of the huge amounts of red tape that the previous government put in place in their 6 sorry years of stewardship of the country, and we'll be getting rid of more than 8,000 regulations shortly. We've also put in place important environmental approvals for more than $400 billion worth of projects, and that's critical, Mr Deputy Speaker, because the last thing you want is big projects tied up in lengthy and opaque approval processes. What you want is jobs in infrastructure, and that's what this government is committed to. We'll also help to generate jobs, Mr Deputy Speaker, through reinstituting the ABCC to help that very troubled construction industry, and really very important to identify all of the issues that we're seeing in that industry. Now, the government's plans in relation to Qantas, Mr Deputy Speaker, are absolutely what Qantas and the broader aviation industry needs, because what Qantas needs is the ability to stand on its own 2 feet and to fight in the marketplace like every other company does. Now, the fact is that Virgin and other airlines today have an advantage over Qantas, Mr Deputy Speaker, and that advantage is that they can source foreign capital in a way that Qantas cannot. And what that means is Qantas is shackled, and it's more difficult for Qantas to invest for growth. And now, in any business, Mr Deputy Speaker, whether it's aviation, whether it's the media industry, regardless of what it is, Mr Deputy Speaker, no business, Mr Deputy Speaker, no business, Mr Deputy Speaker, wants to be in a position where it is competing in an unfair manner against its competitors, because all anybody asks of government is the capacity to show up, do their best work, and succeed in the marketplace, and that's what Qantas should be allowed to do. We've seen 9,000 new jobs generated by Virgin in the past decade or so as a result of competition in the aviation industry, and that's a good thing. And that demonstrates that when you enable companies to compete, to put forward products to consumers, and to take some risk and grow, that you generate economic activity. You don't generate economic activity, Mr Deputy Speaker, by placing government dictate from down on high on the marketplace. You generate jobs by creating a level playing field and a fair playing field, and enabling businesses to get on and do what they do best, which, Mr Deputy Speaker, which is to invest in the future of the nation. Now, better Labor governments, or better Labor parties in previous decades, have understood the need to make sometimes difficult decisions. They've understood the need for reform. The Keating and Hawke government made some decisions, as the Prime Minister said today, which difficult at the time, but certainly right for the long-term future of the nation. Now, they had the guts. They had the guts to walk away from cheap populism, Mr Deputy Speaker. They knew that Australia's future demanded more than an easy headline and a simple soundbite, that it actually required the policy framework to allow our economy to grow. And unfortunately, the current opposition bears very little relation to those previous Labor governments, because when we see an opportunity for structural reform, they see an opportunity for simply a cheap headline, Mr Deputy Speaker. And when you're dealing with a matter as important as the future of the Australian aviation industry, it is absolutely critical not to play politics with it, but to do the right thing by the aviation industry, to do the right thing by Qantas, get rid of the carbon tax, get the playing field level, and that's how you generate jobs, Mr Deputy Speaker.